Hello everyone, this is the Mad Salvi letting you know that unless things are proven with Twitter posts and stuff like that and have actual proof behind it, treat everything in this thing as a theory. I will try to mark certain things as news and theory and everything like that to kind of let you guys understand, but also, you know, use a critical mind. And I hope you do enjoy. We're going over some Nijisisters cope because, of course, it's always interesting to see how the other side sees things. I try to be as neutral as I can. Of course, I criticize where criticism is due. If people are being too aggressive, then I criticize them as being too aggressive. Even people who are antis, I criticize them for being too aggressive. I try to be in the middle. But let's talk about these dudes. They're coping sponsorships, kills the sisters, so effing rigged. Juna just hanging out. We're going into compilation all the sisters cope in the past. Pomo and Celeb were never friends. Mint was talking about someone else in her RM account. Mint is clearly friends with Illyra. No one is following Doki. Isn't that interesting? Chat had literally harassed Mint to mention Doki. Said didn't overrated B say she wasn't going to be a VTuber anymore when she graduated. Why would anyone believe what she says? Basically, people are S-ing on him. That's what you wish, sister, but he did not. She said she wanted to go back to school for something like certification, which she did in a 3-month Japanese language class she took in Japan. So yeah, people are coping. Pomo makes big plans for 2024, so then tries to blank. Pomo graduation 2 weeks later, sequence of events. 24k peak events with stars inside, originally yours. Both girls fill their expo event to max while you can't sell a concert overseas with 3D. Rika cam permanently on. Doki doesn't reference anything remotely Niji unless too close to ignore. Mint did some callbacks, but Wisps got annoyed by Doki questions and Dragoon stepped away respectfully. Then cut to this week when Mint strangely didn't post her schedule. Then Mint and Doki mutual out of nowhere. And now this. Rat since Mint was just shy and Doki was just trying not to get anyone hurt blast radius. It finally got the balls to do it, with some Roach helping according to the Rat since Doki got invited to Rust event where Mouse is and Matara is literally pushing Mint to do stuff. Pomo makes big plans for 2024, 20 graduates. There's a huge gap between that. You can't resign that fast, you know. Starts a podcast with Matara, who hates Doki, hangs out with Etheria. Excited to see the Hanamori gang. Puts all in Niji EN now. Appeared in a re-debut. Collabs with Doki. Idiots. She hates Nijisanji. So tits. Then adults realize that you can be friends with people your other friends don't like as long as you don't run interference with both friend groups, have problems with each other. Exactly. So here's another one. Commissioned one of my favorite artists to draw student council president Pomo and Luca and Illyra. The final product turned out absolutely great. And it says thread on Ellie Pomo moments below. Just massively disappointed. 4 hours now. The amount of Dragoons gonna be so insufferable to me. That's it for me. Now that from all the love of Pomo and now they're going down here. Yeah, I just think it's important to have principles. Not great. I've been feeding you guys a lot. I hope it's enough. I'm going to go now. From now on, you feed yourself and go find food somewhere else. Real Click gets formed live in front of thousands of all you quiet people, and all of you are quiet. Doki starts regularly collabing with Roach. I'm leaving VTubing forever and finding a new hobby. I'm tired of this emotional roller coaster. This is all Nijisisters, of course. I don't know why people are trying to act like these ex-Niji blanks were pure and innocent victims, not grifters. They were nice. It wouldn't be Niji in the first place. False flagging sisters. Grifting Nijisanji is legally and morally correct. Guess so. Point was for this blank OP because Doki isn't looking for a click at all. She literally loves networking too much and likes to have different friends here and there. Min has never stopped Doki from being herself, and she might be able to make more friends outside Vishoujo thanks to Doki. Usan is a musician, gotta network as much as Doki does. Matara would be burned at the stake if she were to try to make Mint miserable. You know, OP is laughable. Either way, considering all we have so far, the single event that Doki made a show of inviting a ton of large people and small people as well. If all 4 of them suddenly start collabing several times a week, we're shutting everyone else, and then maybe they'd have a case, you know. And here's another needy sister having, I guess, something. Oh God. I expect people to leave and other new content, so it's just me here, my word for myself. Creating a safe space for myself because people won't listen. Anyway, the two ship. If you expect more, I have nothing. Sin and Celed and Pomo will end up. I can't see it. I can't see their future together. I can't see how they're going to have an oldie love. They have rather push each other out of wheelchairs. And then, you know, now this. You're like a baby powder, a scent of soap. Making you account. They ruined my Ellie Pomo and own CL chips. Why are people so soft? Make blah blah blah. When he warned you about touching their girl, she meant you're playing with the wrong guy. Oh God, that's just weird. That's just weird. That is just weird. Yeah, that's the Lyra Pomo ship. That's a weird one. People are weird. People are just strange. Anything you'd like to say in this post? Yes, it is the best part of the stream. I would watch it back if it weren't for Meta Doki. Gonna do a fatty. Oh, now it's scary. You know, people are getting all scared about this. Sisters, essing and pitting. So yeah, basically, sir, a second XDG's crashed with Doki Rat. In before NBA Collab and Anime Expo concert, their newest members reached new low in terms of CCV. CCV, most organs are new 3 view, some 4 view, except for some golden 20 organs. 3D debut, CCV got cut by more than half comparing to Lazalites. AR free live portion gained less subs than an effing game collab. None of the members are gaining subs back except for newly debuted ones. Sisters can cope and they're going back to normal, but in reality, there's no more U-turn. Basically, he has no more U-turn for them. Yeah, the actual fan base is dwindling. That's what it looks like, at least. And the final one is this one. You know, the big Nijisanji NBA collab. Perfect collab for a black company. What anime is that? Never heard of it. VTubers. VTuber agency. What the F does some YouTubers using anime avatars have to do with the NBA? Has to do nothing with it. And of course, they're coping and seething. And that's the part that I wanted to cover. Of course, people are saying, you know, that it's pathetic. People are saying the whole harassment campaign against Doki really failed. It was an association theory. It's just all that kind of stuff. So kind of going over this just to give you guys a full overview of it. A post a few days ago that was deleted about cryptic messages from Hex. When I blank, you'll love me. Least parasocial male Nijisanji streamer, of course. Some things, let's see, I think he's the most. Isn't that no favoritism? Some of the things Hex has said, has done, has made me very incredibly uncomfortable. I don't watch Nijisanji anymore, but I actively avoided him back when he was watching. The sense of humor that he has is very, doesn't vibe with mine, nor did his content. He has a very dark sense of humor, and it doesn't vibe with everybody. Of course, do not go and harass them. Dear lordy, please do not go and harass them. Let them live their lives however they want. Let them be a part of whatever organization they want. We do not endorse harassment in any way. Honestly, could be a very few things. He's just being pretentious and edgy. Genuine cry for help or sign he may be struggling with mental health. It's him trying to bait people into suspecting option 2 to earn sympathy, like with James Somerton, and bring attention to him. That's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying it's him trying to bring attention to himself because, you know, his numbers are down. Being pretentious and edgy before Niji, he was a weird dude. Yeah, that's the reaction I got. I don't have any other reaction for this besides no. Looking through the Twitter profile, it seems more general Hex post when he's unsure of what else to post. Like, is there anything else important to tweet? He's not responding to anything, not responding to anyone. Then he posts these type of stuff, and he says what this person is saying. So it says not to worry about these tweets. Either he's on his I'm 14 and this is deep arc, or someone is troubling him, something is troubling him. No, he's a bad person for various reasons, but I still hope that he's okay. Exactly. Hope the best for the liver, talent, whatever you want to call them, and just leave them alone. You know, I never hope for any negative feelings, any negative anything towards anybody. I just hope for the best for them, you know, moving forward. So yeah, just don't go and try to make trouble for someone like this. Even though he's always seemed to be this way, he's always seemed to be kind of a little bit on the odd side. It's fine. He can have his own personality. You know, he can enjoy himself. As you know, I love the numbers. I love the numbers. I love to see this happening for a independent VTuber. Right here, we have average max viewers, 16K average, 22K max. Likes, dislikes, of course, 77. You're always going to have someone disliking. 141,978 has 1,500 in US dollars. And here is the amount of live chats, amount of super chats. Of course, the large majority was US dollars. You have Swedish krona, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, Philippine, Mexican pesos, all that kind of stuff. Saw somebody reply on Wrestletuber Day 1 metrics, post that Canadians need to step up their super game. They didn't pull through. I'm kind of surprised Day 2 had lower viewership than Day 1. It's a long weekend and usually tournaments get higher viewership for finals. Still a pretty impressive and fun event. It's a Monday now in Asia, so yeah, it's probably the Westerners left to catch them live. The source is vt.poi.cat. 77 sisters are seething right now. Alas, I don't do supers, only membership, generally 20 to 50 of them. So here is the actual numbers. Here are the actual numbers here. 244 Japanese yen because, you know, it's Japanese yen. And there is the Japanese yen number here. So, of course, trying to show evidence on vt.poi.cat. Make sure that the evidence is always there because, you know, all these things can be faked. I don't know why people take time to fake it, but yeah, they can try to fake it. Absolutely. A bit of a side note on the whole Wrestletuber thing because that's been a big thing in the indie space right now. Apparently, a professional wrestler cameoed in Wrestletuber. We're so back. That's the great GreatBlackOtaku, Nico Ni guy. Oh, wow. So they actually went and were on there. Missed so much of Wrestletuber, haven't gone back to watch it yet due to other obligations. While browsing Twitter today, I saw this tweet, like, holy S for real, this dude is a former NFL player and WWE wrestler, and he cameoed in Wrestletuber alongside Takahata today. Might be making a bigger deal out of this than it is, but it was mind-blowing to find this out. Honestly, huge W for Doki to be able to get that, absolutely. Certainly is a big deal. He not only wrestled, but commentated on Raw for a while. So him providing commentary at Wrestletuber is a big deal. It's about time Mansoor gets his own virtual YouTuber. I mean, like a lot of people are saying, yes, he deserves one. We don't want to break the internet now, do we? Let's see here. And besides, he's only 5 years old. You can't trust a 5-year-old with a microphone. I was literally spamming Holy S, Holy S, Holy S in chat while Doki announced the guest announcers, unironically knowing how wrestling embraced its own absurdity, them dipping into online audience through collabs or strange event-type marketing through VTubers doesn't even sound like a big stretch. Especially 2 to 5 years down the line, considering how tech is going better and more noticeable in the entertainment industry. Eating good. I mean, people watching definitely notice because they said that, but yeah, even if I didn't follow the WWE, so I didn't know this big name it is, still a huge W for Doki to get people like that. Fun fact, he did a Nico Nico knee in a match. Oh god, he did a Nico Nico knee in a match. I'm not going to actually show it because if it is a WWE thing, if it is in any way copyrighted, it's going to screw me over, so I'm not going to watch that. GBO is a cool dude. He's been an advocate of anime and its related culture for a long time. I remember him posting pictures of his Asuka Daki. Nice. It was awesome to see. Outside of being a former WWE wrestler, commentator, football player, he also collabed a few times his former super best friends play, two friends play, known as Castle Super Beast. I love Better Wool. It was so nice having someone that actually knew the move names. Briefly, it's no London Bridge call though. But yeah, it's just fun times. Fun times with this. An actual wrestler ended up being a commentator. Doki has another big win under her belt. We're going to go over several posts regarding the situation that happened at Wrestletuber. It's not a bad situation, but it's, you know, who won and all that kind of stuff. Of course, spoilers ahead. Battle winning the belt and then losing it within 5 minutes to surprise Usan with the steel chair fight is unironically the funniest outcome of the event. First time I ever say I'm glad my Oshi got ratioed. Rip Liquid Battle Gavis. Ever since Battalion cheers when Battle wins, that they'll cheer harder when he's immediately blindsided by defeat. Because yeah, he's seen as like defeat always takes the grasp of, takes the wins from him. Also should be shut down any rumors about Doki being bad blood with other retirees. Back to you, Kuro-sanji. I mean, she did collab with Usan early in the week, early week in her Varia debut. I don't know why people just like to spread, bad rumors, I guess. Lower accurate for Charlie and his max luck. If it's max, it's both good, win streak, and his ref getting lost. Bad Usan, absolutely bodying him. The start of every match. He's only dependent on what the funniest at the moment. Of course, it's all about the funnies. Someone salty at AEF on Discord when Battle fumbled hard against the god Usan, talking about taking entertainment too seriously, personal. Just ignore and move on, of course. Here are the results of, the count. Gavis Battle won the count. There you go. And there his 3D there. And surprise 3D Usan shows up later on. Of course, that's my Oshi champion for 2 seconds. The VODs for day 1 and day 2. Face and named for the title. Here's what's gonna happen later on. Here's the champion, of course, and because of submissions. Usan out of nowhere with the steel chariot. Usan popped up at the end. Gavis Battle wins the tournament. Unnamed joins as the final boss. Unnamed goes in there with the steel chair, having a special match, having more fun with everything. Crashes events, takes championship from Battle after having it for 5 minutes. Self promo, doesn't elaborate further, leaves. Holy effing based. Rip Battle. Top shelf WWE scripting. The buddy sub-breedable clown takes down everyone else, but the match needs a heel to keep the audience on their toes. Of course, it always needs a heel. Wrestling needs a heel overall. Event keeps getting better. To be honest, it looks like a real person. Is it, or am I bugging? It's a real person. On the Mayo, he played Usan for their fake 3D reveal as well. So this is an actual real person. It isn't the 3D. This person just played Usan for the real part. Real person just wondering who's playing the character at this point. Holy Toledo, what? Yeah, exactly. Didn't expect Battle could make that for WWW. Like, laugh. It is just good times, good fun, enjoyment for everybody. It's good to have a heel at the end. It's always needed in wrestling. And it is always fun having Usan there, having everybody show that there is some unity, at least in the VTuber sphere, and that unity is, doing very well. Here's a little thing that I popped in and saw. It was the brat Nyana Banyana had put together a 3D concert this weekend. She grinded a few months to be able to make it happen. It's finally here. It's not to undermine anyone, just wanted to show how happy I'm to witness her being another step closer to her dream, especially as a small indie VTuber. Best weekend this year so far. Pippa the Rippa is back from the daughter herself. So this is what happened. It was all of these people that you're seeing here, Rima, Evenstar, Pippa, everybody just being here, doing indie VTubers, big VTubers, small VTubers. They're all there. They're all trying to do something. They're all basically having their moment there to shine. And the 3D concert, her chibi form, it looks like, or is it her actual form? Still doing. And that's Pippa the Rippa, of course. Pippa the Rippa. And that is amazing. to be able to do that, to be able to get that fully done, to be able to get that fully mocapped and everything, because that's the hard part. The hard part is getting it mocapped. Just an amazing job by her and everyone who helped her out. And it says, I know it's not Niji related. The amount of effort goes into these things isn't worse because of smaller scale. Mods let the one slice, please. I think they will. Know very little about this one, but glad to see her succeeding. Watched the whole thing live. The quality of his concert was a good step above the Christmas one. Really enjoyed it overall. Nyana herself effing slaps as a singer. Holy S that voice. She sang Pippa the Rippa with Pippa as a guest. Knowing how much that song makes Pippa cringe and still singing it is peak comedy. And I love her for it. That's the thing. Of course, I think the irony wasn't lost on anybody. I think it was just a fun moment from a fun creator. JP's Truth Media is dead. P2Y.jp is a truth media. They basically were one of the few Japanese media that was actively talking about Nijisanji. They're gone. People are going to need to actually translate things a little bit more. I think Kurosanji's region sweeping purge has got them down. They're abusing JP defamation laws to oppress free speech and criticism. Yeah, JP has that issue. Of course, it happens the same way over here in the West, but over here in the West, there's a little bit of journalistic protections, as in if you are a journalist, if you are someone that is in journalism, that is doing all that, a lot of times you will have certain protections placed on you in order to not stifle free speech. This is a journalistic magazine. Absolutely, 100%. So the fact that this is happening to them is really like, it does stifle free speech. It does make kind of a chilling effect so other people won't talk about them negatively. Other people won't cover the news that they have. So this is not great on this end, but of course there are always going to be other sources and hopefully some come out. In continuation with what I had talked about just a little bit ago about P2Y.jp, a lot of people are saying that VTuber media can't resist any color because any color is, you know, has influence, whether it be just through the Japanese media, as in giving them money for, you know, advertisings, or the fact that they are, you know, in Japan, and Japan can do all these separate things with them, all that type of stuff. It could be any one of those two. It's a reach to say that Nijisanji has them in their pocketbook in the sense of, you know, paying them to not talk about them. It is a huge stretch to say something like that. We're going to go over the Q&A session a little bit in regards to Hololive and what they've said, cover pretty much. And the question here is about business plan for the fiscal year in March 2025, especially the concept of planning for the first half of the year. I don't think the new VTuber unit contributed to the performance last year. In addition, advances of the merchandising service have accumulated steadily, and the number of SKUs and channels developed in-house have expanded. They're basically wondering about the earnings forecast for the next fiscal year. Moreover, there's been a significant increase in the number of projects and licensing collaboration services. In light of those situations, the first half plan looks a bit conservative. I understand the hurdles of the overseas events and merchandising service in Q2 are high. Please explain your view on the first half. Kaneko saying, the merchandising and license collaboration services are the current drivers for overall company revenues, rather than the streaming content service. Also in the concert event service, mid-size and large-size events will be taking place gradually. So they're going to be doing mid-size and large-size concerts, other events, from around summer, and the number scale of events are expected to increase in the second half of the year. In addition, the merchandising service will grow in the second half of the year due to the seasonality of anniversary sale items, just as it did last year. Licensing collaboration service the previous fiscal year has also been strong seasonality, and second half to certain extent, basically things are going to be growing. Collaboration of other developers and publishers with their prospects. I think you've already explained about Hollow Indie and Hollow Earth. I think that's the first time we're hearing about the collaboration with other developers and publishers. Please explain what's going to be happening. It's difficult to explain the public scale timeframes because they involved undisclosed transactions with other companies. However, we plan to make several large and small deals for the IP licensing out as described on page 31 in the financial results. So they're trying to expand user-created content and their own privately generated content, their own, liver generated content, or whatever you want to call it. They're trying to spread those evenly, trying to make sure that each one has their own strength. Small to medium scale VTubers and other developers are generating revenue range in several hundred million yen. So yeah, they're doing joint titles. Reasons for delay, effects, and progress of Hollow Earth. I think the release is a little delayed from the original one. Please give feedback. As for Hollow Earth, originally explained that we would deepen the production while making it available to users, rather than explicitly expanding the functions at some point. I think it's a situation in which the functions are gradually expanded while monitoring user trends. In that sense, our perception is that there's no great sense of delay within the company. So they're going more for user experience instead of like, oh my god, make it grow, 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 grow. They want the user experience to be good in the beginning, basically, and user feedback, taking that. Not able to provide users with the full scale of the sandbox functions. I think we will be able to start getting feedback when users in earnest in this year. Basically, they're asking for the background and gross margins. This is, you know, an investor thing. For Q4 only, I think the cost became a little higher because the large-scale event Fest Expo expanded the local venue. So they're worried about, you know, the margin isn't as big as they're expecting, which of course investors always do. The other reason is structural. For example, we can operate the studio full capacity throughout the year's budget, unlike the beginning of the previous year. So their studio got bigger. They spent more money. Overall, they've been spending more money to make money in the future. As shown in the slide, earnings in the forecast, marginal profits continue to rise, but the production costs and everything like that, they do increase a bit. For the fixed cost element recorded as cost, we plan to start the amortization of software assets. I don't know exactly what that means. In addition to basically for, as shown in the slide of Hollow Earth, depreciation of operating personnel expenses of the studio, a certain ratio is expected. So the studio's cost is going to lower as time passes. Upside elements of this year's plan and their images. Could you explain some additional information on the content of the images, content of the images, upside elements of this year's plan? In the slide, you also mentioned that the contributions from media mix, planning, and others are budgeted conservatively. Could you explain again what the content of this is? We will disclose the details, full press release for users in the future, but this year, in addition to expanding our content and business distribution from overseas users, we are planning some larger scale projects. So, like last year, we are not being overly conservative at the beginning of the period, but upside of sales is hard to read completely. On the other hand, although it is difficult to explain briefly how big it will be, we believe there is a certain possibility of revenue expansion. So the revenue is going to grow. Larger profit margins. This is, what page is this specifically? This is page 26. They're wanting more, like in the first half of the fiscal year, ending in March, they want more profit margins, more operating margins, that kind of stuff. You mentioned the second half is heavier because of events and other factors. When looking at profit margin, can you explain the reason why the profit margin in the first half will decline and the drivers will improve in the second half? Okay. It says, if sales from large-scale events in the merchandising service are weighed heavily on the second half, the ratio's fixed cost will increase in the first half. Because of causal relationship, the operating profit margin will be a little lower. Yeah, basically they're saying, you know, the percentages will grow. Revenue contribution startup image in North America base. They're wondering if North America is going to give them any money. The revenue is going to grow, but of course North America is going to cost them a bit to start out. So that's one of the things they're mentioning. Question about Hollow Earth. Please explain the direction of the concept. It's basically Tanigo, which is Yago. It's intended to enable VTubers and users to communicate realistically in the same 3D space, thereby providing users with richer experience. Also believe that our uniqueness compared to other metaverse developers is that our own VTuber IP, we own the IP, and they'll operate transactions between VTubers and fans around the world from ordinary times. Basically, it's going to become an integrated service. It's going to be a service that's going to involve VTubers and everything. And yeah, just start talking more about profit margins and things like that. I'm not going to bore you guys too much with it. But they also mentioned here that the licensing collaborations is going to expand. The age group is 15 to 25 from most of their users. Their user age group is 15 to 25. Their investor relations policy, they're trying to switch things into English a little bit more. Actively respond to any KPI stuff, any human capital issues, shareholder returns, activities, goods and services. They're trying to bring more goods and services to people, things like that. They're trying to make sure also that they don't expand too much in the VTuber side because they want to increase the contact points of the IP, more people connecting with the IP, which is their talents, instead of having more talents out there. Basically, they're saying they're not going to be doing the Nijisanji approach, which is good. Here we go with a little bit of meme time. Columbo in any color as long as it's black. Oh, just one more thing. Where do you keep your silver play button, Mr. Clawmark? Unlike other corporations, VTubers, and YouTubers, my silver play button is in a room with all of Nijisanji's play buttons. How cool is that? Maybe his mask is copium inhaler? Never expected to see Columbo meme. Love it. Watched a VA clip of Columbo interrogating Light from Death Note and became obsessed with the series, so they watched it and put it here. POV, you're joining Nijisanji N. General release of liability. This is for the Buckshot Roulette game, which, of course, if you look it up, you're going to know exactly what it means. And yeah, it's pretty much how Nijisanji treats their livers. General release of liability. They don't have liability in everything. They won't even defend you if you get attacked by any other organization or a VTuber or anything like that. They won't even defend you then. That's how bad it is there. And that's the meme section of this video. Thank you. That is all for right now. Of course, comment, like, and subscribe down below. Thank you for being here. Of course, I love having the conversations with you guys. I love having these things with you guys, and I do appreciate it whenever you guys do comment. Take a look at my description for my socials. There's a Discord, there's Twitter, there's other places that you can check me out, Twitch, etc. And also check on your screen right now, because there might be a video that you might enjoy. Thank you.